Hello, steady Taurus. As July 3rd and 4th unfold, the days may seem calm on the surface, yet something meaningful is quietly taking root beneath everything you've been experiencing. The universe often works through gradual shifts rather than dramatic announcements, and this feels like one of those moments when your patience begins to reveal its true value. The resilience you've shown over recent months has been laying a foundation that is finally strong enough to support new opportunities, and you may notice subtle signs that your efforts are no longer going unnoticed. This isn't a time to question your worth or compare your progress to anyone else's. Instead, allow yourself to recognize how much you've already grown, not only through what you've accomplished, but through the confidence you've developed along the way. Like fertile soil that has been carefully tended before the first harvest appears, your dedication is beginning to produce results that feel lasting rather than temporary. Others are starting to recognize qualities you've carried quietly for a long time, and your influence may expand naturally without needing to demand attention. If you're single, these first days of July could place someone meaningful within your orbit, perhaps through your professional life or a trusted personal connection. Rather than arriving with dramatic intensity, this connection may develop through mutual respect and quiet curiosity. You could sense that this person has been observing your character longer than you realized, appreciating your steadiness and authenticity before finding the courage to move closer. If they appear reserved or uncertain, don't rush to interpret their hesitation. Sometimes trust grows slowly, and your intuition is likely to recognize the difference between caution and disinterest. Professionally, your steady approach is becoming one of your greatest strengths. People may begin looking to you for practical advice, dependable leadership, or thoughtful solutions because your consistency inspires confidence. If you've been hoping for greater responsibility, increased recognition, or opportunities to broaden your influence, these possibilities may begin taking shape now. Even so, remember that visible progress can occasionally awaken quiet competition. Not everyone around you will celebrate your growth with the same sincerity, so continue observing actions more carefully than words, while remaining grounded in your own values. Should obstacles appear, try not to see them as signs that you're on the wrong path. They may simply ask you to trust the pace you've worked so hard to establish. Your resourcefulness, patience, and clear judgment have carried you this far, and they remain reliable guides as new responsibilities emerge. Rather than pushing harder, you may discover that steady confidence accomplishes more than force ever could. The symbolic energy surrounding these days encourages renewal from the inside out. You may feel drawn to simplify your environment, release relationships or habits that no longer nourish you, or spend quiet moments reflecting on everything you've learned, instead of dwelling on what has already passed. These impulses are not about leaving your life behind. They're about creating room for the version of yourself that has been gradually emerging. Practices such as gratitude, mindful reflection, or simply spending time in nature can help you stay connected to this deeper sense of balance. What feels like encouraging progress today may actually be the beginning of a much more sustainable chapter. Rather than chasing constant achievement, you're learning how to receive the rewards of your own persistence with greater ease and self-trust. Continue moving forward without allowing fear, old doubts, or outside opinions to interrupt the rhythm you've patiently created. You're building something sturdy enough to continue growing well beyond this weekend, and every thoughtful step strengthens the path ahead. As always, remember that this reading offers symbolic guidance rather than certainty. Take what genuinely resonates with your own experience and allow the rest to pass without concern. Every person's journey unfolds differently, and your intuition remains your most trustworthy compass. In the moments ahead, we'll explore how these themes may influence your relationships, career, finances, health, and family life. Before we do, let's look at the symbolic energies accompanying these first days of July. If today's reflection brings you encouragement or a sense of clarity, thank you for supporting this space with a like. Your kindness helps these readings continue to grow and reach others who may need them at just the right moment. For this weekend, the symbolic numbers are 4 and 7, gentle reminders to build on strong foundations while remaining open to thoughtful insight. You may enjoy noticing where these numbers naturally appear throughout your day, allowing them to serve as quiet prompts for mindfulness rather than guarantees of specific outcomes. Today's symbolic color is forest green, a shade that reflects grounded growth, renewal, and quiet resilience. Whether through something you wear, carry, or simply notice around you, let this color remind you to stay rooted while remaining open to new possibilities. Like a healthy tree that continues strengthening its roots even as its branches expand, your greatest progress now comes from honoring both stability and steady growth. Life has a way of teaching through many different seasons. Some lessons arrive gently, almost unnoticed, while others ask you to pause because they reshape the way you see yourself and the world around you. As these first days of July unfold, you're invited to move through each experience with quiet awareness, paying attention to the subtle patterns that reveal themselves over time. Even the moments you would rather leave behind have helped strengthen your judgment, deepen your compassion, and prepare you for choices that now feel more aligned with who you're becoming. If your thoughts have been moving in too many directions lately, don't mistake a busy mind for a lack of progress. Sometimes growth becomes easier to recognize only after you stop trying to solve everything at once. Take one step before worrying about the next, allowing your natural steadiness to become your greatest advantage. Like a river that reaches its destination by flowing rather than rushing, your calm perspective will help you distinguish what truly deserves your energy from what can simply be released. Resist the temptation to let fear or uncertainty dictate your decisions. You possess more quiet strength than you may give yourself credit for, and this weekend encourages you to trust that inner foundation instead of searching for constant reassurance. A fresh sense of optimism may begin emerging, not as a sudden burst of excitement, but as a growing certainty that new possibilities are taking shape beneath the surface. Creative ideas, practical solutions, and meaningful conversations may appear naturally, offering gentle reminders that progress often begins long before it becomes visible. The spiritual themes surrounding these days suggest a deeper alignment between your inner values and the direction your life is taking. For Taurus, whose greatest achievements often grow through patience and consistency, the Hierophant speaks less about external approval and more about living in harmony with principles you've quietly honored for a long time. Every promise you've kept, every responsibility you've carried with integrity, and every act of kindness offered without expecting recognition has been strengthening roots that now support lasting growth. What may have once seemed like ordinary daily effort is gradually revealing a much greater purpose. The emotional landscape also carries an interesting message. The Three of Swords suggests that someone may have been holding back feelings, not because their interest was absent, but because vulnerability has felt difficult for them. They may have watched your quiet confidence from a distance, uncertain whether the timing or circumstances were right to step closer. Rather than overanalyzing every interaction, allow compassion and patience to guide your perspective. Some connections mature slowly, and understanding often arises when neither person feels pressured to force an outcome. From there, the energy naturally evolves into judgment, a symbol of awakening and renewed clarity. This isn't about rewriting the past, but about recognizing how much both you and those around you have grown because of it. Old assumptions begin losing their influence, making space for conversations, reconciliations, or new beginnings that feel more honest than they could have before. Sometimes what appears to be perfect timing is simply the moment when everyone involved has become ready to see the situation through wiser eyes. The Nine of Pentacles reflects a stage where your steady investment in yourself begins producing visible rewards. Whether you've been developing a skill, nurturing a long-term project, or quietly strengthening your confidence, you're entering a period where those efforts create greater independence and genuine satisfaction. This fulfillment doesn't arrive through luck alone. It grows from the discipline you've practiced consistently, allowing success to feel secure instead of temporary. That steady expansion continues through the Ten of Pentacles, highlighting the value of trusted relationships and supportive communities. You may find yourself connecting with people whose experience, encouragement, or practical guidance helps transform long-held ambitions into realistic possibilities. Financial confidence may grow not because everything changes overnight, but because your careful planning begins producing stronger foundations for the future. The goodwill you've cultivated over time has a way of returning through meaningful opportunities and dependable alliances. Finally, the Seven of Wands reminds you that every season of growth asks for healthy boundaries. As your confidence becomes more visible, you may occasionally encounter skepticism, quiet competition, or situations that require you to stand firmly behind your decisions. Rather than reacting defensively, let your actions reflect the calm resilience you've spent so long developing. Like a deeply rooted tree that remains steady when strong winds pass through, your greatest strength lies not in resisting every challenge, but in knowing that your foundation is already strong enough to support everything that continues to grow. The Chariot arrives as a reminder that progress doesn't always announce itself with dramatic fanfare. For Taurus, these first days of July suggest that the direction you've been patiently working toward is becoming clearer, allowing you to move with greater confidence and fewer internal doubts. Decisions that once felt difficult may now seem surprisingly straightforward, because you gained a deeper understanding of what truly matters to you. Whether your attention is on a personal goal, a professional commitment, or a change in your daily routine, the momentum building now feels steady enough to carry you forward without forcing the outcome. That forward movement naturally flows into the energy of the Lovers, which speaks less about perfect romance and more about meaningful choices made from the heart. If someone has been quietly observing you from a distance, they may begin finding the confidence to express feelings they have kept hidden. At the same time, this card invites you to notice which relationships bring a sense of peace and mutual respect rather than uncertainty. Lasting connections are often built through consistency, honest communication, and shared values, and this period encourages you to recognize the difference. Your well-being deserves the same thoughtful attention you give to your responsibilities. Imagine your body as fertile ground that responds to the care you offer each day, revealing where rest, nourishment, or gentle healing may be needed. Positive thinking can support your emotional resilience, but it works best alongside practical self-care. Keep up with regular medical appointments when appropriate. Listen carefully to what your body is telling you, and remember that prevention is one of the most meaningful forms of self-respect. Pay special attention to the habits that shape your evenings. If stress or exhaustion has led you to seek comfort in ways that leave you feeling depleted, consider small adjustments instead of demanding perfection from yourself. Every nourishing meal, every restful night, and every moment spent slowing down becomes another way of reinforcing the stable foundation you're working so hard to build. The relationship you have with yourself quietly influences every other area of your life. Work may ask for your dedication, but these days also remind you that achievement loses some of its meaning if it comes at the expense of the people who matter most. If your workplace feels supportive, you'll likely find collaboration flowing more naturally than expected. If tensions exist within your team, approach them with patience and clear boundaries instead of allowing small frustrations to grow into larger conflicts. Your ability to remain calm while others become reactive can be one of your greatest strengths. Balance becomes an important theme throughout this period. Organize your responsibilities in a way that leaves room for family, friendships, and the experiences that restore your spirit. The memories you create outside your career become part of the life you're ultimately building, not distractions from it. The encouragement and love you exchange with those closest to you provide a quiet source of strength that supports every ambition you pursue. If you're exploring new career opportunities, you may notice a growing clarity about the kind of environment where you truly belong. Rather than simply searching for the next position, you're becoming more aware of the values, work culture, and purpose that matter most to you. This self-awareness allows you to present your strengths with greater authenticity, attracting opportunities that feel more compatible with the future you're trying to create. Financially, the atmosphere favors thoughtful planning over quick rewards. Your previous efforts, careful decisions, and willingness to invest in long-term goals may begin producing results that feel increasingly solid. Helpful conversations, experienced mentors, or well-established professional connections could open doors that once appeared distant, not through luck alone, but because your consistent work has prepared you to recognize the right opportunities when they appear. This is also a meaningful time to trust your practical instincts. Taurus often excels at building lasting value one careful decision at a time, and that quality becomes especially important now. You may discover ways to strengthen existing resources, improve financial organization, or support projects that reflect your deepest passions rather than chasing temporary success. Every thoughtful step taken today has the potential to reinforce the stability you're creating for the months ahead. As your confidence grows, allow yourself to receive recognition without diminishing your own accomplishments. Your abilities deserve appreciation, and accepting support does not lessen the value of the effort you've invested. True prosperity is measured not only by material gains, but also by the peace that comes from knowing your choices reflect your values and contribute to a meaningful life. That quiet confidence can make future financial decisions feel calmer, clearer, and more intentional. In matters of the heart, one gentle reminder stands above all else. Relationships flourish when they grow freely. If a connection has naturally drifted away despite your sincere efforts, holding on too tightly may only create more strain for everyone involved. Love is strongest when it is offered with honesty, respect, and room for both people to grow. And these first days of July encourage you to honor that truth with compassion for yourself as well as for others. Real affection never needs to be held together by fear or constant struggle. If your relationship already feels supportive and secure, these first days of July may simply deepen that sense of comfort, allowing you to appreciate the quiet ways you and your partner continue choosing one another. Small moments of understanding can become more meaningful than grand gestures, reminding you that enduring love is often built through consistency rather than perfection. If, however, unresolved frustrations have been lingering beneath the surface for far too long, this period encourages honest conversation instead of silent endurance. With Venus inviting greater awareness rather than easy answers, emotions that had been pushed aside may naturally ask to be acknowledged. This doesn't necessarily point toward endings. Instead, it offers an opportunity to recognize unhealthy patterns before they become permanent, giving both people the chance to decide whether the relationship is still growing in a healthy direction. Every relationship experiences occasional disagreements, and those moments alone are rarely a cause for concern. What deserves your attention is whether the same wounds continue repeating without understanding or resolution. If you find yourselves returning to identical conflicts month after month, gently ask yourself whether your emotional needs are truly being heard. Healthy love allows room for growth, reflection, and mutual effort rather than keeping both people trapped in familiar cycles. If you're currently single, these days offer something equally valuable. Instead of viewing the season as an absence, you may discover it becoming a space where your relationship with yourself grows stronger, whether through travel, time in nature, learning a new skill, or simply listening to your own thoughts without outside expectations. You have an opportunity to reconnect with the parts of yourself that daily responsibilities sometimes overshadow. That inner stability often becomes the strongest foundation for every future relationship. If someone already shares your path, choose your words with intention. You may begin noticing which conversations repeatedly lead toward unnecessary tension and which ones create greater understanding. Not every disagreement deserves to become a battle, and sometimes protecting a relationship means knowing when to pause, listen, and return to the conversation with calmer hearts. Respect offered consistently has a quiet way of strengthening trust over time. Family life carries a gentle atmosphere of renewal during this period. You may recognize yourself as one of the steady influences others naturally rely on, even if that role often goes unspoken. Conversations that once felt awkward or emotionally distant may gradually become easier, allowing misunderstandings to soften through patience rather than pressure. Like a garden recovering after steady rain, relationships often heal not because everything changes overnight, but because care has been given consistently. Shared responsibilities and future plans may also begin flowing with greater ease. Support has the potential to move naturally in both directions, reminding everyone involved that strength within a family grows through cooperation rather than obligation. Small celebrations, meaningful gatherings, or simple moments spent together can quietly reinforce the sense of belonging that carries each person through life's changing seasons. Your grounded perspective helps others remain focused on what truly matters when emotions begin running high. Your personal energy also feels ready for gentle renewal. You may notice yourself feeling drawn back toward interests, creative projects, or dreams that were temporarily set aside while life demanded your attention elsewhere. Rather than searching for excitement through unnecessary risks, allow yourself to rediscover what genuinely brings you peace and fulfillment. Some passions don't disappear, they simply wait patiently until you're ready to welcome them back. Creative expression becomes especially supportive now. Whether through music, painting, writing, gardening, cooking, or another meaningful outlet, you may find that creating something with your hands brings unexpected emotional clarity. Focus less on the finished result and more on the experience itself. Like tending fertile soil before the harvest appears, every small act of creativity nourishes parts of you that productivity alone cannot reach. If disappointment or hurt has recently left its mark, be mindful of the temptation to answer pain with resentment. Revenge rarely restores what has been lost, and more often it keeps old wounds alive longer than necessary. Give yourself permission to acknowledge difficult emotions without allowing them to dictate your next decision. Healing asks for honesty, patience, and the courage to move forward without carrying unnecessary bitterness. Competition will always exist in one form or another, but your greatest strength lies in responding with dignity rather than impulse. During emotionally charged moments, choose your words carefully, remembering that even a brief comment can leave a lasting impression. The calm you've been cultivating over time becomes one of your greatest gifts now, allowing you to protect both your own peace and the relationships that matter most as this new chapter continues to unfold. Before speaking, give yourself a moment to consider where your words are coming from. Ask whether they are meant to build understanding or whether they simply reflect a passing emotion that will fade long before its impact does. If you realize you've unintentionally hurt someone, don't hesitate to offer a sincere apology. Owning a mistake rarely weakens your character. More often, it strengthens trust and frees you from carrying unnecessary emotional weight. As these first days of July unfold, choosing forgiveness over lingering resentment may create far more peace than holding tightly to old disappointments ever could. Keep your mind open to the possibility that every new day offers another opportunity to grow. If you're studying or developing a new skill, let curiosity guide your efforts instead of waiting for someone else to point the way. Take initiative, remain committed to your goals, and work steadily within the structure you've already created. The energy and attitude you bring to each task shape not only your results, but also the way you experience the journey itself. Remember to appreciate the learning process rather than measuring yourself only by achievements. Give yourself permission to step away from distractions that drain your focus or relationships that consistently pull you away from your goals. Spend time with people who encourage your growth, and don't underestimate the value of activities that refresh your mind and inspire new ideas. Balance, after all, makes sustained progress possible, and every meaningful experience adds another layer to your wisdom. For Taurus, today's symbolic compatibility highlights three energies that may offer something valuable. First is Virgo, whose thoughtful and practical perspective may help you refine your plans and recognize details that strengthen the foundation you're already building. Conversations with someone carrying this energy could remind you that steady progress often comes from small improvements made consistently over time. The second connection is Cancer, bringing emotional warmth and a greater appreciation for the relationships that quietly support your life. Time spent with someone influenced by this energy may encourage meaningful conversations, deeper trust, or a renewed sense of belonging. They can gently remind you that true security is built through emotional honesty as much as material stability. Finally, Capricorn offers a complementary influence that supports long-term vision and purposeful action. Someone with this energy may inspire you to think beyond immediate concerns and recognize how today's careful decisions contribute to the future you're patiently creating. Their perspective can help transform practical goals into realistic plans, reinforcing your confidence in the path ahead. As we bring this reflection to a close, remember that its purpose is not to predict every detail of your future, but to offer symbols that encourage thoughtful self-reflection. Keep what genuinely resonates with your own experience and allow the rest to pass without feeling the need to force it to fit. Your intuition remains the most reliable guide as you continue shaping the life you want to build. If today's reading offered encouragement or helped you see your path with greater clarity, thank you for supporting this community with a like. Your support helps these reflections continue reaching others who may need a moment of reassurance or perspective. If we'd like to continue exploring these daily messages together, you're always welcome to join the community and enable notifications so you won't miss future readings. Thank you again for sharing your time, your openness, and your trust with me. I hope these first days of July bring you a deeper sense of balance, renewed confidence, and quiet momentum as you continue building the life you've been patiently cultivating. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself and keep moving forward one steady step at a time.